Hello, we are Anonymous. This announcement is regarding the film industry tax cut. On April 9, 2015, the Nova Scotia government announced their fiscal budget. They promised a rough budget, an unpleasant budget, but they didn't promise a budget that screws Nova Scotians and a thriving industry that brings millions into the economy every year. The film industry in Nova Scotia started very small 20 years ago and has slowly grown to something about to be big, thanks in part to the government's tax credit and the abundance of amazing talent this province has to offer, but Stephen McNeil and his finance minister Diane Whelan decided to cut the tax credit. The same credit that has seen such productions as Jesse Stone, The Trailer Park Boys, The Book of Negroes, This Hour has 22 minutes amongst many others shot in Nova Scotia now, not including the ones that were coming, has now been cut because the Nova Scotia government thinks it's wise to slash at an industry that has spent years and years building itself to become what it is and has helped put Nova Scotia on the world map. This doesn't include all the production companies that are in Nova Scotia either. Thousands of jobs are at stake and are about to move out of province because of the McNeil government's ignorance and disregard to seeking input from industry leaders. Anonymous has a message for you, Stephen McNeil and Diane Whelan. You're new to the province, so we will show you how things are run here. You can ask the Parsons family in Dartmouth, and the Miller family in Cape Breton if Anonymous is something to be taken seriously. They will tell you yes because Anonymous gets results. If you should ask anyone, maybe you should ask the previous NDP government. They will tell you outright, I am sure. Our point is this: when you stand there on video and state the following,
to help spawn further growth in the film and digital media industries, a new Liberal government will also expand the film tax and digital media tax credit for the eligibility of an additional 5 years. We will also look to streamline the application process to more effectively to ensure companies are able to realize the financial benefit of this tax credit more quickly. We have a strong labor force that is highly skilled in the information technology and digital media, and we must exploit this strength by investing in our creative workers and entrepreneurs. Together, these measures will create additional growth in important industries in our province. We've seen tremendous growth from film and digital media investment. What we're trying to provide by assuring those industries some stability. We've been frustrated, they've been frustrated that it's more of an annual going back to government each every year. We want to let them know that that it'll be a 5-year cycle now, and process before we reach that deadline for a future government to review and ensure that we continue to grow and provide what are good jobs for many of the Nova Scotians, particularly creative young Nova Scotians who are thrilled to be able to practice their craft here.
Anonymous will put this into perspective. Mr. McNeil, you are about to lose one $12 million series, and that's just one series because of your lack of foresight. The industry itself represents 2,700 full-time jobs in an industry that was worth $150 million alone. Are these losses going to be reflected in your next job count? I doubt it very much. Keep in mind, when a movie or series or show comes to Nova Scotia, it's not just the people and actors that earn a wage here. Those people need to be fed and housed by Nova Scotians who all earn a wage which is taxable. They use power, gas, water, rent vehicles, buy other goods and services in Nova Scotia, all which is taxable. What is your government thinking? You're going to lose out more on all of these people moving out, this includes those who worked and lived here, than you think. It's not just a tax credit you're saving on. You're losing out on the spin-offs, the taxes collected from the full-time workers who lived here and the tourism that all of the film industry generates, so your budget is not actually balanced. You're more in the hole than when you tabled it. Think about it. It's simple economics and anyone can see it. Anonymous is also aware of the study that students and teachers from the local universities are doing in the constituency office of Finance Minister Diane Whelan, in response to the removal of the cap on tuition fees that again was presented in the budget. It is pretty clear this government has no sense of future for our province when they axe a tax credit that meant jobs, money for the economy and increased tourism, and also acts a cap on tuition fees for universities, thus causing Nova Scotia students to incur more debt, just for them to collect more interest on more debt. It's pretty clear where the Nova Scotia Liberal Party stands when it comes to the public. Nova Scotians live in a beautiful province, but the issue come elections time is always the same. No matter who the opposition parties are, Nova Scotians never elect a government in. They always elect a government out, come election time, and you clearly can see why based on the actions of the brand new Liberal government. If something is not done further to correct your actions in this budget, Anonymous will have no other choice than to start a full operation on your government. What you have done is wrong and you know it. If you're going to axe that many jobs and increase the debt on these students, it wouldn't be advisable to give yourselves raises this year or next year. This a warning. Listen to it. You have upset the public, and the hive. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.